Hello guys, Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing, my friends. I've got two boxes to share with you today. They just arrived today. I wasn't sure if they were going to show up actually, but they did. And then halfway through the show, I'm going to invite you on the show. That's right, something I've been wanting to do for a little while. If any of you feel up to it and you want to come on to the show and talk to me live right here, we're going to talk a little bit about what you are looking for this year in 2025. What are your collecting hopes? I guess you could say hopes and dreams, comic books, whatever. I don't care. It might be something else. I don't know. You let me know. Let me know what you're thinking about collecting this year. Again, you'll need a microphone like this one, and you're also going to need a camera, a webcam. Doesn't have to be high definition or anything like that, but just so we can see you. And you can come on and talk to us. And perhaps I'll meet you for the very first time live right here on the Comic Doctor YouTube channel. And what's that, guys? I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC dealer located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Every Tuesday night at 8:30, I come on here live. That's right. And I share with you books that have come back from CGC. And my friends, I send so many books to CGC that I usually have at least one box to share with you. Oftentimes, I have more. Just like today, I want to make sure that my sound is looking okay. I think, looks like everybody's, that looks good. Looks good. And by the way, if you want to join in the conversation, I did post the link to join at the top of this chat under Dave's little hand symbol there. And just above John Sherwood's first message, there's a link that you click on that and you put your information, you'll pop into my little, I guess, back end studio here. And, we'll join in. You don't have to, but if you want to, that'd be kind of cool. All right, let's get right to it. First off, we've got some pretty cool Golden Age books, and we've got some more Signature Series books have come in. And I don't know if Victor's watching or not, but my gosh, a signature all the way from Fan Expo has finally arrived. Finally, we've been waiting forever for this. So the first one we have is a comic from Athens Con. So it's a Greek comic. And it's an XMen number 94 reprint, obviously. It's a Greek version in a 9.4. Pretty cool. Something you don't see every day. One of Cameron's books. Cameron likes to give books to me that are from all over the world. He might even have some more in here. But first, we're going to jump into a Mr. Mystery number 7 from 1952. It's a low-grade copy and a 2.0. Troy's here. How you doing, Troy? Good to see you. Again, Dave is here. Derek is here. How are you? Kaylin's here. You want us to click on Kaylin, if you want to come on and say hi, you're more than welcome to. Real Life Comics number 5 in a 3.0. Rob Bin's in the house. Grounder's here. Trevor's here, of course. Trevor, good to see you too. Trevor's right here in Oshawa with me. Gord's in the house. Good seeing you last Saturday, Gord, at the shop. Canada Comic Guy is here. Happy Tuesday to you. All right, what else we have? We have a 1.8 copy of Mr. Mystery number 6 from 1952. Pretty nice, pretty nice. FYI, just shipped another 250 books to CGC today. Sending out another big batch later this week, probably as well. Frontline Combat number 4 and an 8.5. Nice grade on this one. Not bad for a book from 1952. Oops. We also have a Commando Comics and a 6.5. It says no date. That's strange. There's no date on that. And it says no date. I've never actually seen that before, where it says no date. They usually do their research, but that's really weird. They know all about it, but they don't know the date. Strange. Let's see. Anthony's here. Paul's is here. How you doing? Anthony Wheeler's in the house. Dannon's here. How you doing, Dannon? Chris Ball. How are you, Chris? Good to see you. Derek. Well, come on and tell us all about it, Derek. Come on and tell us. It's Tuesday, Dave. It's Tuesday. We also have a Frontline Kombat number 2. That's from 1951 in a 6.0. Nice to see a lot of clients are taking advantage of my free shipping. I've got several orders coming in from all over the place, most from the States actually, which is kind of cool. Again, if you've been thinking about having your books cleaned or pressed and or sent to CGC or whatever, currently, if you submit 10 or more books to me under our exclusive press and clean service, I will pay to have your books shipped to us here in Oshawa. And I don't care where you're coming to us from, whether you're on the other side of Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Sarasota, Florida, anywhere in California, Oregon, I don't care. I'm even covering for American clients, I'm even covering any customs fees. And there are customs fees, and I've been covering those as well. Did I put this one on already? Two-Fisted Tales number 41, and it's 7.5. That's a great one. Look at that. All right, I'm going to move some of these down because I don't want this to tumble on me. All right. Let's see here. All right, we have Two-Fisted Tale. Another one, number 32, EC Comics, 1953, 7.0. So nice grades on these. Very nice. And then another Two-Fisted Tales, number 19. And that's in a 6.5. And then the Texan from 1949 in a 3.0. Check that baby out. Very cool. Matt Baker cover and art. That is awesome. Very, very cool. These came to me from a local collector, and I want to say that they found these books. Like they moved into a house and these books were in the attic or something like that. All these gold. I could be wrong, but that's sticking in my head. So, all right, we got now. Hey, you know what? A DC book. I don't believe it. This I think we have 2 copies of this today, which is kind of cool because this is the book you saw on our thumbnail. Green Lantern 76 in a 6.0. Paul Stevens is here. How you doing, Paul? Yoga Fire. How are you? Kaylin asks, has Comps Con batch went out? Yes, they have. They are on. Well, I think the rest are out today. They're on their way to CGC right now. So, yes, they are gone. Daredevil number 2 with a really nice custom label in a 5.0. Wow. Nice book. Very nice book. And this one here belongs to, oh my gosh, Star Trek number 1 in a 6.0. This is John's book, I believe. Nice first batch. Yeah, I know, eh? Quite good. Now, this is the first box, guys. The second box has lots of signature series. Lots of J. Scott Campbell books came back. Troy, hey, Kevin, just wondering if you're able to get my magazine shipped to me this week. Not yet. I just did CGC yesterday. I'm probably not going to have another I was trying to have another shipping day this week. It's not looking good, to be honest. I'll try. Realistically, I'm going to have to do another full day shipping day next week. If I do get to it, I will try. I will try. And Troy, you're in Ontario, right? You're not far. Once I ship it out, it's UPS. You have it the next day. When I use UPS to ship your books back to in the Greater Toronto area, or Montreal, Quebec, Montreal, it's 1 day shipping. You know, Windsor, 1 day shipping. It's when you go to Northern Ontario, it sometimes takes a couple of days. But yeah, so once I send it, you'll have it very, very fast. The thing is about shipping, it does, when I start, I don't have a dedicated shipping center. What I mean by that is I don't have a space where I have boxes and bubble wrap and, stuff, shipping labels, machines, handy, shrink wrapper. I had none of that. So when it's time to ship books out, this room becomes my shipping room, and it's a mess when that happens. It's a full day and a half to 2 days of shipping, and then I clean it all back up again when I'm done. So that's why I don't ship out books, straight away. It's usually within a week or two, but not usually the right away, because I can't pull everything out for one box or one order. That's the reason. The reason why I get CGC boxes out is I pack them at the shop, bring them here, off they go. That is something I do want to improve upon. And when I say improve upon, that is one of my goals, to somehow streamline the shipping part of this operation, so that when it's time to ship a book, I once they're done, they go. I don't want these items hanging around longer than they have to either. But I need a dedicated shipping area, and I just don't have one of those yet. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. I thought about, I know some of you guys really like coming to the shop on Saturdays and seeing me. You still will be able to, but I'm thinking of taking that shop that I have. If you've been to my shop, you know what I'm saying. Taking a portion of the shop, cutting it in half, and making like a shipping room there. It's going to, it'll make the space smaller for customers, but it'll be more efficient for me. So I don't know. Those are things I'm thinking about. We'll see. Hey, Winston, how's it going? EJ, I'll be looking for an Air Fighter comic series if it comes to market. LOL. I don't know. I don't know that one. Gonna pop in Saturday. Oh, good. Look forward to seeing you, John. It's been a while. Marvel Tales number 1? No, number 11. Sorry. In a 6.5 right there. Look how clean that back turned out. Wow, that turned out really nice. It looks really good. We also have a Marvel Tales annual number 1 in a 4.5. The Canadian Canadian edition. I know I always laugh when I see them, because I always give them to Charlo and he gets so mad at me. Well, can't the poor do those once in a while? Yeah, but you know what? You're so good at it, Charlo. These are usually absolutely filthy, guys. So, anyways. We also have a Millie the Model annual number 4. Also, Canadian edition. Some staining down there, obviously. Dry cleaning will not get rid of that. In a 5.5. What's going on here? Nobody's signing up to come on and say hi to me? I thought I had like about 10 people waiting to share their ideas. Guys, here's the link right here. I'll post it again. If you want to come on, you don't have to come on for an hour, guys. Come on for a couple of minutes, say hi, and let us all know what you're looking to collect as 2025 unfolds. More comics, toys, cars? I don't know. Tell me. What are you looking for? I'd love to hear from you. I'm sure we'd all like to meet you. Let's put some faces to some names. Come on here. All you need is a microphone like this, or a microphone and a webcam, and Bob's your uncle. All right, let's keep going here. We also have a Strange Tales annual number 2 and a 3.0. We have a Hellboy number 1, Seed of Destruction, John Byrne authenticated signature. Very nice. Right there. Something you don't see very often. John doesn't really like to sign any longer, but yeah, pretty cool. And here it is. Here's the other 7.0 copy of Green Lantern 76. Pretty cool. Very nice, very nice. And then we have a really nice copy of L'Étonnant Spider-Man number 66, French Canadian edition in 7.5. Right there. And I have a feeling that also belongs to Cameron L. And then last but not least, this banger, guys. Great book. 9.2 copy. Avengers Number 11 in a 9.2. I have a funny story about one of these. It belonged to George. He gave me a copy. We worked on it. Turned out fantastic. It came back like a stupid grade, like a 7.5 or an 8. And it made no sense to any of us. So what we ended up doing was cracking it. And I gave it a really quick freshen up press, sent it back, came back at 9.6. Yeah, sometimes those graders are out to lunch, I have to say. You know, everybody can have a bad day at the office. We just hope it's not when they're grading our books, right? All right. So no one's coming on. You guys are leaving me hanging. Leaving me hanging here. I can't believe it. I thought at least one of you would have the courage to come on here on YouTube Live and say hi. Spartacus, hey, Doc. For those that are Grommets fans, they are releasing 3 skateboards with comic covers on. Oh, cool. I'll put this one up on the screen. Have a read, guys. Where is it? So, Jive Turkey says, hey, Doc, it's been about 4 months since the CGC invoice for some Bronze Age book. Is that still within their turnaround window? Unfortunately, Jive Turkey, yeah, it is. In front of me, I have Special Marvel Edition number 16 in a 9.2, signed by Simu Liu, sorry. And this was signed on August 24th, and I'm getting it today. This arrived today. August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah. These books, all those books that arrived at CGC, you know, in the late summer, early fall. Yeah, they're all unfortunately, yeah, a lot of them are, but I am noticing they're starting to move now, so it should hopefully not be much longer. And all of you that I've been sending books into CGC with the vintage fast track, they're getting done really quickly. Books that landed like a week and a half ago are already done. So there's a matter of them popping them in a box and shipping them back. So they're actually getting through the fast tracks quicker than they're estimating. Their vintage turnaround time has also been reduced from 115 days down to around 92. Still too long. When that gets down to like 45 days, I'll start offering it again. But we'll see. We'll see when that happens. Okay, so put that there. Nice. All right. What else we have? Sorry, Jive Turkey. It's the way it goes. John Sherwood is talking about. They forgot the spider emblem on his chest, and we're talking about Strange Tales' 4th appearance of Spider-Man. Let's see. Strange Tales. Yeah, here it is. And he's right. John's right. No spider emblem. Look at that. 4th appearance of Spider-Man. They don't mention the error, though, which is kind of interesting. I think they would, because that's pretty significant that the main spider emblem is gone. All right, let's keep going here. Now we've got a lot of Signature Series books and a lot of JSA books. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's see here. Okay, so first we have a Marvel Witchblade 150, signed by J. Scott Campbell. A lot of J. Scott Campbell books are coming back. He had a signing at CGC in 9.0. We have a Spider-Man 607 in a 9.6. I looked through these really quickly when I was getting the books ready for tonight, and yeah, they were pretty tight on these guys. They were marking these they were grading these pretty tightly. I'll tell you right now. Spider-Man 601 in a 9.6. Great cover. I love that he uses, that's kind of cool. We didn't indicate colors on the what do you call it? On the window bags, but I like that J. Scott Campbell picks colors that kind of match the cover. That's kind of cool. Like this next one here. This is a really nice one here. The Guardians of the Galaxy one, with Gamora on the cover. Then he marked it with a green, that's kind of cool. I like that. Canada Comic Guy says, hey, inspired by you stating that CGC customer service was good, I called them to ask a quick question, and it was surprisingly fast and friendly. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're not, they're fine. I mean, they're good. I was talking to them a couple days ago. I have no problem with their customer service. The people that I deal with on a day-to-day basis is fine. I just have a problem with a lot of their policies and how they treat some of their, I guess you could say, their more regular customers. While I don't mind talking to several different customer service individuals, for someone like me who I find I don't have enough time in the day to breathe sometimes, I don't want to deal with 5 different people to solve one problem. You know what I mean? I want to just talk to my person, get it done and move on. They don't seem to understand that, but what can I say? Black Cat, Superior Spider-Man number 20. This is gorgeous. Look at that one. Very nice at a 9.8. There's a Black Cat one coming up that's absolutely stunning. I don't know where it is, but it's coming up. It's coming up. All right, what else we have here? Put these down here. Well, I guess no one's come on to talk to me. I guess y'all want to hear what I'm going to be collecting this year. That's kind of boring. You guys know what I want. Not one person. I can't believe you people. There's 52 people up there. Not one person has a webcam and camera to go on. All right. Well, this one I love. Check this one out. Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows 11. Check this out, guys. This is a stunner of a book. Again, I do not buy new books, but look at that. Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. And there's more. And there are more. Here's a number, Spider-Man 800. And a 9-0. Why are they so mean to this book? Because it's quite pretty. Why is this only a 9? I don't know. And I'm not even sure we press these books or not. A lot of times with these more modern books, the customers ask that they not be pressed. So we just don't do it. If you don't want it done, we won't do it, right? But I don't know. I don't have the file in front of me, so I can't speak to it. We have a really nice Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy number 1. This is an art germ book. And also Adriana Mello. And this is a JSA book in a 9.8. Very pretty. Marco Coletta's in the house. Marco, you going to join me? Come on up here. Let's hear what you're going to be collecting this year. We have also another art germ and Adriana Mello in Harley Quinn Poison Ivy number 1, a different version, 9.6. And then, of course, sometimes we forget. We do send the authenticities in. They send them back, and we give them back to the clients. I prefer to give them back to the clients before I send the books, because that way, for sure, they won't get lost. We have a Wolverine number 1 from 1988 and a 9.2 signed by Chris Claremont. One of the ugliest signatures you're going to find. Another J. Scott Campbell ASM number 607, 9.6. And another 601, 9.6. Well, Marco, if you want to come on, the link is right here, my friend. Marco's got the guts. He can come on here. There you go. I can even take more than one at one time. So if a couple of you guys want to come on and shoot the breeze with me, we'll talk for a few minutes before I go, and that's that. Hey, Sid, how's it going? Chris McCann tells us I'll be collecting some Bronze Age keys and signature sketches this year. Well, that's cool. Finally, a 9.8 from that order. My gosh. ASM 606 and a 9.8. Another Black Cat book. This one here is awesome. This book, again, I don't buy new books. I would never buy this book. But boy, oh boy, I can appreciate the heck out of this. Look at this. Gorgeous. Gorgeous Black Cat number 6. Virgin cover. Look at that. Just sick. Love it. 9.8. Gotta love it. And okay, so that's sorry. Now we get some old ASM books. Everyone likes the ASM stuff. Here's the first Mysterio, number 13 and a 4.0. We have an ASM 20 in a 4.0. First appearance of Scorpion. I think these belong to, I'm not sure. I'm not even going to say because I'm not 100%. Oh, Never Fails. Dave House, are you still out there? Amazing Spider-Man 138 in a 6.0. I think this next book is Dave's book. And what's silly about it is, of course, I've had Dave's books for a while. And he came to pick up a bunch of books today from the shop with Napur and Charlo. And he has one outstanding Doctor Strange book. Well, maybe this is not his. No, I think it is his. 169, I think this is yours, Dave. I'm not 100%, but I think it is. And it wouldn't be Murphy's Law that you arrived today to pick up your books, and then your final book arrived the same day. Anyway, there you go. I think that's yours. I think it is. Marco's joined me. He's waiting in the wings. We'll get to you in a second, Marco. You hear me okay? Yeah, all right, perfect. All right, we got an XMen 35. First crossover between the Spider-Man and the XMen. Cool book. We have a Prince Namor the Submariner number 8 in a 7.0. Hard book to get in a high grade, of course, because that crazy black cover. Nice copy, however. Another Golden Age book there, I think. I think we have, what is this? Web of Mystery, number 21. Dick Ayers and Chris Stone art. That's pretty cool. From 1953. Right there. And we got a Spider-Man number 78. First plot Prowler and a 7.5 white pager. All right. Almost done, my friends. We have a first appearance of the Man Wolf, number 124 and a 7.0. And last but not least, we have the first Shocker, ASM 46 in a 4.5. Love that book. Love that book. All right. There it is. That's 2 boxes. And I believe another box is on the way as we speak, I think. And if so, we will have another unboxing on Tuesday. If not, I'll be here anyhow. All right. So Marco is waiting in the wings here. Marco's going to join us and tell us. Let me make sure my sound is okay. He's going to tell us what he thinks of 2025 and what he hopes to add to his collection. Marco, how's it going?
I'm okay. Just getting off work. So
nice. Well, thanks for having the guts to come on here.
That's right. I'm a glory hog.
That's okay. It's all right. Look at that. What's that behind you? Like a Mortal Kombat type?
I don't know, actually. I think it's just a random image I pulled up.
Nice. So Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. And because it's a new year, we're all thinking about things we could be collecting. What's going to happen this year for you? You think? Are you going to keep going the way you've been going, or are there some new? Are you making some New Year's resolutions where your collections are concerned? What's happening?
I might start collecting vintage Magic cards.
Oh,
We'll
wow. That's
see
a total
if we can-
departure.
yeah, just to get a little bit of variety. We'll
Okay.
see. We'll see. They're much rarer and much more expensive than I'm willing to pay in most cases. But
Right.
I love the art on a lot of the older stuff from the early '90s when it first came out. Comic book wise, I'm just trying to fill out my X-Men run.
Okay.
Hopefully, I get some Silver Age pickups. But with X-Men, it's one of the hardest Silver Age books I find to pick up at reasonable prices and in good quality and condition.
Well,
You can
quality is
usually
always the
find,
thing, right? Trying to find
yeah,
books that are decent grade for a decent price isn't always
yeah.
an easy thing to do.
Well, I find that X-Men books are. I don't know if they were produced poorly, but I mean, I can find Avengers books or ASM books in sevens and eights, but X-Men always seems really beat up when they come on the market. And I don't know if it's because people are saving them or maybe, again, maybe just they were never produced that well.
Oh, well, that's a hard one. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that question is. It's, I see all kinds. Obviously, I see really low grade ones, and I see high grade. Yeah, I mean, you're paying that premium, right? As soon as you start getting into the 8.59, 9.2 range, all of a sudden the price starts, especially on raw books, because a lot of guys start looking at those books with those rose-colored glasses, and they're like, "Oh, could I get a 9.6? Could I get a 9.8?" Right? And it goes from there.
Mhm. Well, I know we have hopefully that X-Men 14 that's waiting in the wings.
Oh,
I'm excited to see that.
I'm done. And of course, we sent that book down. Hey, you know what? There is another box coming. There's some more books I thought were going to be here today. They're not here yet. So there will be another unboxing on Tuesday for sure because other boxes en route. But Marco is one of the first ones to dip his toe into the conservation area. So we've got a book over there that's been there for quite a while now. So hopefully in the next month or so, we'll finally see the results of that book. Was it the first Juggernaut?
No, first Sentinels.
For Sentinels. Okay. All right. Yeah. So looking forward to seeing that one, man, because there's a lot of work done on that. So there's that one. There's a few other ones that we sent in as well that we're just waiting on, which really sucked. They went and changed the turnaround time just like
right
that.
As they went in. Yeah.
Yes, they went in because that really sucked. So Magic cards. Are you always been collecting cards?
I remember back in the early '90s, I was, and then like with a lot of the collection stuff when in that time period, I fell off. Like comic books, sports cards, collector cards, all kind of fell off in the '90s, and now it feels like there's a resurgence, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
But also in the public consciousness, it seems that more people are getting into those type of collectibles again. That could just be that we're aging into it as the older millennials and Gen X start having more disposable income.
I think that's what's happening. And I don't want to use the word pestered, but I've been, I have a couple of clients that have constantly given me cards. Like I don't love to do cards, and not because I don't like working on them per se.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I like to press comics is because I like comic books, right? I like looking at them as I work on them. So if you give me something that I'm not really too keen on, I'm like, I like working on the old like movie cards, like Star Wars or old television cards, like Happy Days and stuff. I get a kick out of that stuff. But the more recent Pokemon you mentioned Magic, it's not my game at all, not my bag. So, but I have worked on these for a long time, and I've been getting lots of requests over the last probably 8 months to really crank up the pressing of cards. So it looks like we're going to give it a shot, I think, in the spring. But
what would be the process? Is it different because they are cardboard and compared to say like a more hardbacked comic book?
Yeah, and just like comics, there's tons of tutorials out there, guys, on how to do this to kind of get an idea of what can be done with it. Yeah, there is a difference, especially in the cards similar to comics. You approach a modern comic very differently than you approach a comic from say 1945 or 1975. They all have different tendencies and idiosyncrasies and whatever, right? So cards are very similar. I like working on cards from the 80s and back. The 90s, it starts getting a little bit, when Upper Decks, the glossy cards, they are really quite a challenge. And there are different techniques that you can use to get out dents and dings and such. And like I said, I've been doing it for a long time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I don't know if I'm excited or not to say that we're doing this, but so many people have been asking. And I said, okay, we'll give it a shot. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, but there's definitely a difference pressing a card than a comic for sure, 100%.
Is there a different risk? Do you find there's more risk in that versus a comic?
I have never sent in a card. Well, that's not true. I've sent cards to CGC for grading. I've never sent cards to PSA for grading. But the dealers that I've worked for in the past do. And so I have done hundreds and hundreds of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic cards, Black Lotus. That's
the
Magic.
big one,
Yeah, right. Done a few of those, right? And apparently that there's certain cards you shouldn't press, because if you do press them, there will be evidence that it's been pressed. So you gotta, the defect has to be looked at very carefully, and you gotta determine whether or not the grader will be able to ascertain if the book had been worked on or not. Because if it has been, then they will give it they're your equivalent of a restored grade, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you got to be very, very cautious with that. So,
are you looking to pick up anything? I know you're not really in the collecting game anymore, but you're moving into toys. And
yeah, I think I'm going to go back to toys again, and I am looking for, and if anybody has any, because they're hard to come by, it's a toy line that I've always loved. And I didn't have a lot as a kid, but I had a few. And I'm starting to really get into it again. Is Micronauts. I want to start looking for Micronauts. I don't care about the comic one bit. I really don't. But and again, it's my favorite company, Mego, that brought Micronauts to North America. And I want to start. They're very expensive, I've noticed. But I'm going to try to hunt those down a little bit. Buy one here, buy one there. There's no real comic that I'm really looking to buy right now, Well,
you kind of have all the big grails, right?
There's a couple that I need. And I was offered one of my clients offered me a really great Tales of Suspense 52, which is what I need. And it was a nice high grade copy. And he gave me a smoking deal on it. But the market is so volatile that I even, to spend $2,000 on a book, I'm like, I don't know if I want to,
Yeah.
Who knows
what's going to happen tomorrow with it?
Well, that's it, right? I think that some of these books might still kind of collapse some more. So I don't know if I want to go out and spend that kind of money. I might, if I see him again, maybe I'll break down and buy it. I don't know, because he did offer me a great deal. He was a good deal, and I haven't even checked to see if things have changed, if the prices have gone up or down. I have no clue. Some other guys are saying what they're going to collect. Gord's saying, I'm going to be trying to finish my first issue of set of Beatles cards. Oh, that's cool. And the Monkeys cards. That's cool. See, you don't hear that every day. Only need a few, so it'll be fun to find in the same condition. Very, very cool. I love to hear other people's passions. Yeah, we all love comics, but everyone's got something else they kind of like to. Yeah, and Gord said he had a lot of Micronauts too. I think I have one or two kicking around, but I'm not sure where the hell they are. I got to locate them.
I'd love to hear something really out there as a collectible, like something that's in the collectible realm, but like something you don't think of. I'm trying to think if anyone has something beyond toys. Like, is anyone collecting 8-track tapes of certain bands?
Funny you should say that, because that's something I thought of too. My son got it. I got him an old amplifier at Christmas time. We bought him an old Sanyo amp and the turntable, and he wants to get into buying old albums and LPs and such. And the guy we bought him from had some 8-track players, and I thought, man, that'd be pretty cool to get into and find those old 8-track tapes, right? But man, I'm like, what are you doing, Kev? You got to get rid of stuff. Not buy more.
Declutter.
Exactly, right. And that's a big problem with me, is I'm a bit of a hoarder. And I showed you guys that the lunchbox I bought, the Star Wars one I bought a few months ago or last year. I've showed on the show a couple of times. Of course, I find an Empire Strikes Back one in a town in Peterborough, about an hour from here. And lucky it wasn't here, because I made a deal to pick it up, but she wanted me to go there right away, and I didn't want to make a special trip for it, so I didn't get it. But I mean, yeah, like I just pick these silly things up that I don't have any need for, and I just I don't. What is Bad Hombre saying? Some way, somehow, I will get me a 9.4 or better Savage Tales #1 this year by Crom, I swear. All right. I hope that happens.
Is that the original Savage Tales of Conan?
Yeah, I
from,
believe
Marvel?
that's what he's talking about.
I have a line on one.
In that grade?
Probably not in a 9.4, but definitely in a 7+.
Bat likes his his high grade stuff. I actually pressed out a really nice for a guy who lived around the corner from me. I only ever pressed. He was a big Conan fan. There's a lot of Conan fans out there. Trevor, you're not alone, eh? No, Mr. Sherwood's brother there, Pat Sherwood, is a big Conan fan too. But he had a Savage Tales, and I pressed it to a 9.6. Oh, Dannon's in the house. Oh, I know exactly what Dannon's going to say, but let's see what he's laughing here. Let's bring him on as well. Dannon, how's it going?
Kev, how's it going, buddy?
Not bad. How are you?
Not bad. I'm laughing because I know you probably know exactly what I'm going to say.
I think I know, but let's let you tell the audience. What do you think? What are you planning on looking for in 2025?
Well, I mean, I'm a big DC fan, so I collect mostly DC. About 80% of my collection is DC. I've been collecting DC since I was 10 years old, honestly. So, but I mean, I also draw the line between collecting and speculating. So I like to speculate a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
So James Gunn obviously is going to do big things, and a lot of the books and keys coming out from James Gunn is a lot of bronze and modern stuff. So really, really affordable stuff. And I've been trying to pick up, high grade bronze and modern as much as I can. And currently I'm working on a Flash Silver Age run, and I have about 60-ish Flash books so far. And going to shows and picking up stuff, and I'm trying to buy collections as much as I can too, because those are kind of the diamonds that you can find. And I often hesitate when I see a collection that's got some good stuff in it, and then I go back like a couple hours later and it's gone. So it's like, so
Never wait.
I know.
Never ever wait.
I know.
I mean, if it's too expensive, if you know in your gut it's too much money, then like I just mentioned that Tales of Suspense 52. I should just bought it that day. Yeah, I'll take it. But I just, I got to stop. It's like it's an addiction.
Pictures. It's hard to tell the grade from pictures and stuff on Marketplace. But yesterday I was looking online, and there's a guy in Toronto who had like 2 boxes of books, and he wanted $600 for it. And right on the top was the first Silver Age Penguin, and I was like, ooh. And then
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then I went back an hour and it was gone. So I was like, oh, whatever. It is what it is, right?
One of the funnest things I used to do is when I started pressing for people. There were more collections. You guys, if you've been at this for a long time, like I've been doing this now, since like 2011, I think it is 2012. But finding collections and picking, and I would buy them almost sight unseen. I would just go and I'd look at the vintage and I'd say, okay, I'll give you this much. And I would it's like going to the casino and putting a $50 bill in and doing that. And maybe you get lucky. And more often than not, I would find good stuff. And I wouldn't even I just go look at them really quickly. All right. I'm thinking, okay, there's a lot of books from the 80s. There's got a lot of Spider-Man. There's got to be an ASM 300 or a New Mutants that run. There's got to be a New Mutants 98. And I'd find them because those were popular books and people would buy them. And I'd get a whole collection. I'd pay virtually, not would say nothing, but I'd, get a good deal. And I'd find these really key books, which is great. Hey, Canada Comic Guy I got a question for you, Marco. He says, your favorite book you have and most valuable.
Favorite book that I have. God, it's hard to have a favorite book. I mean, I love a lot of art. And it's really because I remember the books I read, the most recent. So when you say favorite books, I can only think of the ones that I've read in maybe the last year. And I really liked the Krakoa era of XMen. I thought that was such a brilliant run. Really reset the XMen. My most valuable book. I mean, my most valuable book valued to me would be my X-Men 129, and that's because that's the first book I ever bought, regardless of what its actual value is. And if we're talking actual money value, I don't think I have anything more than $1,000. I mean, I dropped off an ASM 300 I mean, if that comes back 9.4, I mean, that'd be generous. So I don't think it's anything more than $1,000. But for me, it's like if I flip stuff, I flip on the low, like maybe $150 here, $150 there.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, right? It's it's I talked about this the other day. I said it's a shame that we talk about this hobby with the monetary, and we do, and I do too. I always have, I remember doing my grade 13 writer's craft class, bringing my Spider-Man collection, and I had my ASM 1 and my ASM 6, and the kids are saying, "Oh wow, for what's it worth?" Even the kids in the class who knew nothing about comics would say, "Well, what are they worth? What are they worth?" So I mean, there's always that connection to, what are these books valued at? Whatever, it is what it is. It's a part of the hobby, It's whatever. I don't know. How
And
about you, Dan?
that's why I buy DC to collect and I buy Marvel to sell because Marvel sells.
Yep.
And I have moved some DC stuff here and there, but it's a lot harder to move. But I try to be as responsible as possible. Or if I want to buy some nice stuff, I gotta move some stuff first. So.
I have been seeing more DC stuff come in, not just from you, Dan.
No,
But
it's probably mine.
no, I've seen some other ones too. Again, I'm a big fan of that of the Kirby, Demons book, Etrigan, and all that. Been seeing that come in a few times now. People are really starting to speculate on the James Gunn stuff, and it's okay. Listen, if it brings people to the comic shop and gets people in the hobby, that's fine. I really think the MCU did that a lot, and so. If Gunn can do that with the DC stuff, then great. I'm happy to bring people back in again. What is DG Burns saying? DG Burns says, been trying to get my hands on original Irv Novick Flash artwork from the mid 70s. Yeah, can't imagine that is too cheap.
No, not
right. Very expensive stuff. And Entropy in Comics says 2024 was. Goal is to surpass every year prior in signed books. I achieved over 30. Oh my God.
Holy moly.
1,300 signed books. This year I'm going for sketches. Last year, 19 sketches. This year I'll double that. Wow. That is crazy, man. I don't think I want 1,300 books. I just don't think I want it because I think about carrying them. I got to carry all those books, And Charlo bought that collection back in, what was it, a year and a half ago when we first got to the shop. It was 140 long boxes.
Wow.
And the truck pulled up and I said, "You are out of your freaking mind." I said, "You're crazy, man. Why would you do that?" I said, no, I won't do it. No way. Bad Hombre says, got to move some original art pages from Dragon Magazine. Have quite a few of those to Heritage this year. We'll keep some pages. Yeah, the art. You know what? I should say I'll probably buy some more art this year too. Not a lot. It's very expensive. But if I find I like to buy one page when I do a show or I go to a show. So if I go to Montreal, I'm up in the air about Montreal right now. If I go back to Montreal, maybe I'll buy something there. I will go to Fan Expo for the day. Maybe I'll buy something there. Actually, I'm going to Niagara Falls. I'm planning on it anyway, so maybe I'll buy something there. I don't know, one piece. Because I've already overdone it. You guys are not into artwork, are you?
That's a financial bridge I cannot cross.
Yeah.
Speaking of artwork, though, Kevin, I'm curious. I keep meaning to ask you this. A few of the vlogs that I watch on YouTube of some of the bigger cons in the States, and I've seen a lot of original art submitted to CGC. How does that work? I've seen I don't know where, I can't remember who, I think it was the Comics Den YouTube channel that somebody had submitted original art and it was laminated.
Right.
And it was it was not in rigid plastic, it was in flexible plastic, and then it had a label at the top. I've never seen that before.
I'm looking at, I typed in, original art CGC, and I'm not seeing anything slabbed. Oh, wait, was that it there? That's Signature Series. Well, maybe they have something. I'm unaware.
I would imagine it probably has to be on the premises, and maybe you have to have permission or something. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that. I've only seen it once, and I thought it was interesting. I just thought it was cool. But yeah, I kept meaning to ask you, but I kept forgetting.
I don't know about that. I just bought a portfolio off of Amazon. All my artwork go. I've got probably now close to 13, 14 pieces already. You know, I love it. I just love it. I don't know, but I gotta go easy because you said it's very expensive, very expensive. You know, you can sometimes find like when I was in Hamilton, which was the worst show I ever did. We'll never go back to Hamilton. But I felt bad. There was an artist there who, you know, all the artists were complaining that they weren't selling anything. This one guy, I forget his name, actually. I don't even remember his name, but I bought like 3 or 4 Superman pages off of him. $100 a piece, $80 a piece, something like that, from the 90s, I think it was, maybe the early 2000s. And they were cheap. So you can find some cool stuff, you know. It doesn't have to be like, Steve Ditko, or well, good luck with that, or like, you know, John Romita, or you know, Kirby, who's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. You just buy what you like, right? And
I would imagine Marvel stuff is probably pretty expensive. But
oh my gosh!
Right now, I would think that DC, you know, modern or bronze stuff wouldn't be too bad.
Oh, when I was in San Diego, to give you an idea, the one guy had original cover art for X-Men 109, and I think, if I remember correctly, it was like, and this guy could be wrong, I think it was like 150,000 US or 250,000 US
for the
John Byrne
black and white sample pages, right?
Say again?
Those black and white sample page, not sample pages, but
the original art. That's right. It was a cover.
Yeah.
And it boggles my mind because, again, like back in the 80s, I'd go to the art gallery, or sorry, to the Ontario College of Art for the comic shows. I was talking to someone else about this the other day, and John Byrne would be there. Todd McFarlane would be there, selling their work for like their pages for $10 a page and their covers for $20.
That's great.
You're just walking right through and saying, "Oh my God," you know. Oh my Lord. Rob Bin says to me, "How many books do you have now, Doc?" Oh boy. And how many you want to filter down to? I don't know. I know I have a lot of long. I have probably around. Okay, collection, like my books I bought off the stand that I still have. I think I have one long box of books that I had since I was a teenager, stuff that I've got. So one long box. It's mostly modern stuff. Some Silver Age Spider-Man's in there too. And then for CGC, I probably got like 4 or 5 CGC boxes filled with slabs. That's it. And what do I want to get down to? Hell, man, I've thought about going down to 1, like just getting it all and just taking it and getting one big monster book. And then I thought about just selling all of it and just getting out of the game completely, you know, but the market's too low right now. I don't want to get rid of it now. I should have sold it 2 years ago. you know.
That's also part of your own childhood and history. You really want to throw that away, not throw it away, but sell it.
Well, you know what? The big bangers that I've got, they weren't bought when I was a kid. I bought those in the last 7-8 years. My Spider-Man 1 that I had that I mentioned in high school that I owned, that I sold to Roy years. When I bought a higher grade Spider-Man, I sold him my original copy. That's long gone. A lot of the big books I have a few still. I would keep those. Ones my dad got me, I wouldn't sell those, you know, things like that. But the bangers like the AF-15s and the X-Men 1 and all that stuff, I there's really no sentimental connection to it. I would just hate to sell. I would not like to sell them one at a time. That would be kind of hard because then all of a sudden I don't have them all anymore. I'm missing Hulk #1 because I sold it. So I'd want to get rid of all in one shot if I could, you know.
Well, you've had a few AF-15s, haven't you, Kevin? So I feel like if you sold one, you probably just buy another one a few years later.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah, I've probably owned 3 or 4 of them, like, you know.
Yeah.
Now I'm just down to 1, which is fine, you know, for now. We'll see. I don't know. I thought about taking everything as going to 1. If I could take all my books and get like a 7.0 or a 7.5 AF-15 and just put that away. Easier to store, not very heavy. You know, I don't want to lug boxes anymore. I'm just too old for that. Entropy talks about the collection of his. He says 1,300 was over a year. I've had conversations with over 1,000 artists and creators last year. Wow, you were busy.
That's crazy.
Were you in San Diego? Because he says I live in LA. And many artists and creators live here. Also, San Diego Comic-Con, so you probably were there. I hope you're okay out in LA there, Entropy. Hope everything's all right, that those fires have passed you by. So if, you know, be safe. He has about 30 comic shops in a 25-mile radius. Wow. Yeah, you got a lot of comic shops. Canada Comic Guy then asked, what's the best place to sell? eBay fees are nuts. What do you guys think? I don't do a lot, really.
Comic Link, I think, for me. I don't trust Heritage.
You don't trust Heritage. Why not?
They have a really bad reputation. I don't like dealing with people who have been caught in the past manipulating the market. And the last thing I want is to be part of that or to be a victim of it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. How about you, Dan? Where do you sell? Because you mentioned you like to buy and sell a little bit.
Just marketplace for now. Honestly, I haven't sold anything that's large enough where I need to put on eBay or put on another auction site. But I sell on eBay. I sell or on Facebook Marketplace, individual books, or sometimes I'll package books together. So, like for instance, I've been buying a bunch of Frank Miller Daredevil books and just put them all together and put fair, reasonable value and move them. I'm a part of a few Facebook groups as well. So, there's some good people on there that seem to be pretty stand up for now. We'll see. And the other thing too that I've done a few times is I've taken books to shows and to move and to trade. I like to trade sometimes more than sell. I just find trade is more fun. And sometimes you can maximize your value. So I've taken books, slabs and raw books to smaller and bigger shows, like the Pop comic shows. I've taken them, and the Mississauga show. I've taken books to trade and to sell. And I actually sold a bunch of books at the show that you had last Canada Day as well. I brought a bunch of modern variants that I just wanted to get rid of, and I walked out with more money and I bought stuff. So
nice.
When that happens, you can't beat that.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do another one of those Canada Day shows. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was good. A lot of fun. A free show for all. And as for Marketplace, what do you find? How is it dealing with Facebook buyers? Because anybody can use Marketplace. Facebook's marketplaces all over the United States and Canada too, right? I got some Americans in here. You can Palm Beach Presser's here. He can attest to. He's down in Florida. I think there's a marketplace everywhere, right? Because yeah. So how do you find the buyers on Marketplace?
It's okay. I mean, depending on the book, like I don't want to leave Durham. So like if I'm selling like a $50 book or $100 book and someone wants to drive to like Aurora, like I'm not doing that. So they got to come to me, but it's been okay. Like so far, knock on wood, most people are pretty reasonable, and
that's okay.
A lot of the people that I've been selling to lately are people that are getting back into collecting as well, which is nice. Or a few people that are just like visiting. Like there's one guy who I sold who was from Halifax, and he was here visiting his daughter, and he was just like, I need to buy something to scratch the itch. So I was like, perfect, here you go.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah, it's been okay. I would like to start shipping stuff, but I'm too paranoid because I don't want stuff to get wrecked or stuff to get lost. So
yeah, but again, if you're going to start shipping, again, I'm going to give this place a real little plug, and it's good for Americans and Canadians, is freightcom.com. Freightcom.com. Unbelievable. I'll give you an example. Last night I was shipping out, like I mentioned, 240 books to CGC. It's 3 boxes I was going to ship. And for some reason, Freightcom, usually when you go through the whole process of setting up your shipment, it'll then spit out to you all the different fees, like the different, UPS costs this much, FedEx costs this much, Purolator, whatever. And for some reason, it wasn't giving me any FedEx rates, which sucks because I only ship to Sarasota with FedEx. They're the only ones where there's no stupid, like UPS. They're shady, man. UPS is shady with customs fees and stuff. FedEx is not. So I was kind of distraught because there was no FedEx pricing. So I'm like, frig. And I worked freaking 2 hours to prepare the box. I was not happy. So I go over to the FedEx website because I have a FedEx account too. I fill it all out. $475 to ship 3 boxes down to Sarasota, Canadian. And I'm like, F that. That's not happening. So I close it up, went to bed. I'm thinking hopefully in the morning they'll fix the glitch or whatever the problem. Maybe they're got to refresh everything, the rates. And so this morning I woke up early. Sure enough, they did. Same service, same FedEx service through freightcom.com. Remember, the night before from FedEx directly was $475 Canadian. Freightcom.com, 3 boxes, 25, 28 pounds each, $174.
That's not bad.
Big difference.
Yeah.
So if you are thinking of shipping books, use Freightcom.com. UPS within Canada is fine. They're okay. But going south of the border, I only like to use FedEx. But if this goes for anybody, by the way, if you're into selling books and you're using Canada Post or USPS, stop it. You can use FedEx, you can use UPS, Canpar, whatever you like. And you're saving like probably 60, 70% oftentimes off a courier rate. And I much rather use a courier than Canada Post. No offense. You sell a book to somebody in, say, Buffalo, and you use Canada Post, it goes over the border. USPS takes over, and if that gets lost, good luck getting that book back. Good luck tracking it. Good luck. Whereas FedEx, I've gotten calls from Texas, from Florida. Oh, we have a question for you about your parcel. They keep you can find your stuff all the way down to the buyer. So that's why I like those. Anyways, Palm Beach Comic Presser says I found Short Box to be an easy place to sell stuff. So Short Box, I've heard of Short Box. I have no experience with them. And then Rob Bin says, this goes to what you were saying, Marco. There's a notorious YouTube video about Heritage's shill bidding, including allowing employees to bid up their own books. Oh my God.
Yikes.
And then he says here, Heritage's chair and co-founder James Halperin says he and his businesses have been sued by federal agencies multiple times for fraud, among other allegations where he was ordered to pay substantial fees. That's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible, man.
And they're still the biggest in North America, at the very least, which is crazy.
Look,
it's all about how much you can make.
Of course. Let's talk about CGC. This company has how many friggin' scandals last year? From 2024 was a terrible year for CGC, yet my business hasn't slowed down for grading. I just showed you 2 boxes. Another 2 boxes are on the way. People want their books slabbed, and they want CGC. So, and they know this, and they're raising their prices for crying out loud. So, I mean, yeah, you could be naughty, and people will still accept you. It blows my mind, actually, to be honest. It really does. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question. A few things. You get Short Box. You can do Facebook. eBay I don't like eBay personally. I'd never sell on eBay anymore.
Try Kijiji.
Kijiji isn't Kijiji hooked up with Marketplace?
No, I don't know.
Really? Because I always seem to see the same ads on those two, but maybe I'm wrong. Kijiji is not in the States though. Kijiji is Canadian. There's no Kijiji in the States. And then there's like Comic Link. And again, all these auction houses, I don't know. I've really never ever used them. My buddy Roy has used Comic Link exclusively. He really likes them. A lot of my clients have been using Matt, who comes down from St. Catharines to my shop, and they give him books to send down to Comic Link for auctions. They only charge 10%. If you are a first-time seller with Comic Link, they'll ship their books to their New Jersey headquarters for free. So, I mean, I've had customers use them again and again. Are you getting the best money through Comic Link? I have no clue. All I do know is that Heritage charges way more than 10%.
I know Whatnot's getting popular too, but I feel like Whatnot's a lot of work.
Yeah, they actually approach me to set up
when you're on that platform.
That's kind of the whole thing. You may not get the best price with a Comic Link.
Yeah.
But what you lose in a little bit of profit, you make up in convenience and service and just all around them being nice.
Yeah. And and that Comic Connect, I don't know if after that whole giant size X-Men 9.9 bullshit, no offense, man. You want to talk about shysters, you want to talk about, what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh my gosh, late. Conflict of interest. That's what I want to say. You know what I mean? Come on. Maybe I shouldn't use the word shyster. I mean, I don't know these people personally. I think I met the guy at San Diego for 2 seconds. Seemed nice, and I don't even know his name, to be honest with you. Zerillo. Is that his name? I think Zerillo something. Anyways, for him to get a 9.9 on that giant size X-Men #1, I thought was really kind of disgusting. I see a lot of books, guys. I see a lot of books that, 9.8, 9.9, sometimes 9.8s could easily be a 9.9. I'm sure could probably easily be a 10, but they don't get those 10s. They don't get those 9.9s because we've seen the kind of money they go for if they get that kind of grade. So to give an auction house a 9.9, yeah, I had a real problem with that. That really bothered me, actually. The only way I would have been okay with that if they did not know it was his book.
Oh, they definitely know.
Of course they do. That's my problem. That's my problem. People say, "Oh, Kevin, you're a preferred customer." Okay, yeah, sure, whatever you think. I'm not a preferred customer, but you're preferred. So I'd rather send through you because they'll be nicer on the grades if you get it graded over me. I'm like, that's baloney. I don't believe that.
If you have 50,000 people watching you stream.
Oh, maybe. I got 42 people watching me right now, right? I mean, it was really bothersome because everybody obviously knew it was his book. They give him a 9, they give him a bone, they give him the 9.9. It was a 9.8 pressed to a 9.9. It's same as it was a Midtown Comics that had the Action Comics #1 that was, 8.5. They kept pressing it, 8.5, 8.5, and then all of a sudden it was a 9. After the 5th press, they gave it a 9. It was that 5th press that really took that book over the edge and made it a 9. Give me a flipping break.
Like they probably gave it a 9 and tell them to stop bothering them.
No. Every time they'd press it, remember, they charged, at that time, 3% of fair market value. What is an Action Comics at an 8.5 worth? Right?
Tens of thousands minimum.
Million, right? So then, they're getting 3% each time. And they finally, I guess that they paid them enough. They paid CCS enough that they finally said, okay, give them the 9. And it goes back to that whole notion of you got to pay. If you want that grade, you got to pay for that grade. And that's why a lot of guys will send their books in 3, 4, 5 times until they get the grade they want.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. To me, they should not know whose books are whose. They should know it's my books. There should be no names on the grade. The grader should have no idea who the books belong to at all. Because even if someone, say there's a dealer who's a real pain in their ass, you don't think that they don't talk over there? This guy's a bit of a dink. This guy is a big mouth. This guy's cut us up over here. This guy's cut us up over there. Or this guy's our friend. This guy buys us lunch every Tuesday. But people are swayed, right? And and they can say, "Oh, we don't know. It's all anonymous." I don't believe it. Not when you get the guy going on Instagram the next day, bragging that he got a 9.9. No. Palm Beach says, I would love to sell direct to Instagram, but it also seems like a lot of work to develop a following and communicate with each buyer to arrange payments and shipping addresses. I'll tell you, I used to do amazing sales on Instagram. And the way I would do it is I wouldn't even be a couple of guys over at my old shop, and we'd have all the books up on the wall, and we did it. And yeah, you're right. It is a lot of work. When people are not local and you got to ship the stuff out. Yeah, you're damn right. And I mean, Palm Beach, I'm sure you have to ship books back. Well, maybe you don't ship books back. You probably, because you're American, you probably have books delivered right to your clients long distance, which is cool. Unfortunately, I have to ship people's books back then once they come back from the States. It's a lot of work, right, to pack up books and ship them out. But when I was doing the Instagram sales, they were pretty good. And when I was having my sales right here on YouTube, something I want to get back into again. But again, I just I don't know. It's a lot. That's a lot of work too, to be here on YouTube. I usually get on those sales around 100 people watching. That's all you really need to have a good sale. And as long as the client brings a lot of cool books, you can make a lot of good sales. So I don't know if you have a YouTube presence, Palm Beach. If you've got more of an Instagram presence, yeah, start small. Do a small little sale. You know who does really well is Lady T Comics. You ever see those guys on Facebook, Marco or Dan? Lady T? No? Every Sunday night.
I know Palm Beach Pressing has an Instagram because I think he follows me, and I think I follow.
There you go. But check out Lady T Comics, Lady the letter T Comics. It's every Sunday, and Palm Beach. If you haven't watched them, check them out. You've got the guy and his wife. She sits at the computer. He puts out about 25, 30 books every Sunday night, and he sells. And they've and you know what's cool is he started about 3 years ago. I bought from him myself, and books I don't need, but I'll bid and I'll buy, and I do. They build quite the following. It might take you 8 months to start the routine, but when people get used to seeing you every Sunday night, then they'll tune in. Kind of like my show here. I get my regulars every Tuesday come on here. Same thing with Lady T Comics. So check out Lady T Comics on Facebook. I don't think they're on Instagram. They're on Facebook and see. Yeah, Palm Beach. You're lucky. My American clients, same thing. The books go straight back to them. But here in Canada, it's cheaper for the books to come to me first, and then I ship them to the clients. I talked about this a few weeks ago. That might be changing because I'm tired of packing books, but we'll see. No problem. All right, guys. Well, listen. Thanks for coming. Marco and Dannon, you guys have guts of steel. You came on live. Put your makeup on.
Hey, anytime.
Thanks. Thank you.
I've always sick of me, Kevin. You talk to me every week, but
I know you're at the shop almost every week. It's cool. Good to see you. Well, nice to see you online as well, Marco. I'll be seeing you soon as well. I think you have a book here, Marco, actually, but it's not
probably one or two.
Yeah, they're sitting there, but I'll let you know when they're all back, and then I'm sure I'll see you at the shop again.
All right. Well, you have a great night.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right. That was great. Thanks, Dannon. And thanks, Marco, for coming out. And thanks to all of you guys for joining in the conversation. Listen, I'll be back again next Tuesday for another unboxing. I know for a fact another box is on the way. And this box contains some doozies. It's got some books that, I talked about conservation at our shop. We have been doing conservation. 3 of the books that belong to Peter, I thought they were going to be here tonight. They're going to be here next Tuesday. And I think you're going to be really impressed with the results. 3 books sent in, light therapy, some other work I'll explain next week, and all 3 back with blue labels. Very happy. Conservation's cool, and so is using light therapy if you are conservative and if you kind of know what you're doing. Anyways, guys, listen. Thanks so much for popping by. Hope to see you again here next week. If you haven't done so already, again, hit the like button and subscribe and all that jazz. And we'll see you here again next weekend. Thanks, everybody, for popping by. Have a great night. I'm going to go see if the Leaf game is on. I think it's over, but I'm going to see how they did. All right, guys. Take care. All the best. Bye for now.